Hi, I'm certified life coach Dewan J of the High Vibrations Only platform. What you're about to watch is an open coaching session that was actually filmed on TikTok. I pray that the information in the video that you're about to watch will inform, inspire, and ignite you to become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so that you're abreast of all future content coming from you. I'll see you in there. Let's go. So I learned a new phrase. I was hanging out in the TikTok streets, and I learned a new phrase. I was hanging out with some people that I love, some people that are near and dear to my heart. And I learned this new phrase. You guys saw it on the way in here with the title entitled, Who This For? Right. So I initially thought that it was something cute. I initially thought that it was something funny, something that was going to be a one-off phrase. And because I don't really listen to pop culture stuff, right? I have like talk radio podcasts, things like that, that are meant to like build, right? So I began to do some research because I needed to know where this came from, right? This was one of those phrases that I definitely needed to know the meaning of because it popped, it rang, and there was something about it. God so love, what's happening? There was something about it that it was kind of just like, it was stuck right there. And so I started to do some research, and I came across this song called Equally Dirty. Came across a song called Equally Dirty. And I began to look at this song and the music video, and I come to find out that they're asking, or inside of the question or the context, you had somebody doing dirt and somebody else was doing dirt, yet they were together and pitted against each other. So I was like, you know what? This will preach. It's like, this will preach, because it's in our lifetime that we're oftentimes surprised by the result. We're oftentimes stunned when we get disappointed. We're oftentimes stunned when we get frustrated. We're oftentimes stunned when we get heartbroken, and we struggle to deal with the consequences as a result of us doing what we're doing. We are surprised when things don't work out the way that they should, when we are misaligned with purpose. We want to throw the pity parties and start packing luggage for the guilt trip when we are disappointed or heartbroken by the things that are happening in our lives. And when we look around us, we're out of pocket. We're misaligned with the things that we hold valuable. We're misaligned with happiness. We're misaligned with peace. We're misaligned with purpose. And everything that you say that you want, you have to critically think and ask yourself, who this is for? Who is this for? Well, the answer is you. The answer is you. When they was asking the questions, and I looked at the dynamic of the relationship inside of the music video, biblically speaking, it's reaping what you sow. But I want to park here for a second and just say it's not just about the reaping and the sowing. It's about the preparation that goes into it. Now, what I realized a couple months ago, actually, now I did a conversation like this one, and I was asking people, where are you planting your seeds? Where are you planting your seeds? And I talked about the different types of ground, and I taught you how to find fertile soil. And every kiss begins with K. What's happening? Sufyan, what's happening? We found ourselves, right, asking ourselves, where are we planting our seeds? Sky, what's up, love? Welcome in. Where are you planting your seeds? How do you find the fertile soil? How do you know that you're planting seed in good ground? And here comes today's topic. Today's topic, who this for? Look, it's about the preparation. Oh, let's go with the gamer cat. It's about the preparation. It's one thing to know that it's going to be time to put seed in the ground. It's one thing to know that it's time to reap the harvest. It's one thing to know that these types of crops only grow in this type of weather. It's one thing to know, but where is the preparation? And so before we can ask, who that for? We have to ask, what am I planting? We have to ask, what type of representative am I sending out into the world? I oftentimes teach from this platform that anytime you walk out your front door, every time you walk out your front door, you are a walking advertisement for your belief system, for your ideology, for your family. Whether you like it or not, whether you want the responsibility or not, whether you want to wear the mantle or not, you are a walking commercial. You are a walking billboard for your mom and them. You're a walking commercial for your husband or your wife. You're a walking commercial for your boyfriend or girlfriend. You're a walking commercial for your friend group. But a lot of us would rather just do what we want to do, go off on our own program, not worry about where exactly we're planting the seeds. So as a result of that, we can't be surprised when the seed doesn't bear fruit. We can't be surprised when we get rotten fruit. We can't be surprised when the crops don't come to a plentiful harvest. So I want to examine this because when I came across this phrase, right? La Muñeca is in the building. When I came across this phrase, I was hanging out with some loved ones, some people that I care about deeply. And I was like, this is a cute phrase, but it preaches because when you ask yourself, who that for? Now, when I first heard it, like it was there. And then I watched the music video, and what happened was there was a pro TLC is in the building. There was a prophylactic that was found by a woman, and she was asking, or by a man, and he was asking the woman, yo, who is that for? In other words, what are you prepared to do? I've talked to you before, and I've told you how you're born. You were created with everything that you need to be successful. You were created with everything that you need to make a dent in this life. You were created with every single thing that you have ever needed to do anything that you want to do in this life. But where are you planting your seeds? And what are you planting? Some of us come on this very app and spread toxicity. Some of us come on this very app and slide into the DMs of all the women. Uh-oh, fellas. Some of us come on this app and we use it as if it were Tinder or if it were Christian Mingle or Farmers Only, or some of us want to see this turned into OnlyFans. Some of us want to use this as that orange and black site. Some of us come on here and all we're doing is going from live to, oh yeah, I'm throwing all the shots today. We come on here and we slide into lives and we're trying to catch the attention of the cute girl because you saw her fitness improvement photos. Some of us come on here and you want to holler at the dude because you seen him working out. Some of us come on here and we slide into DMs and we're in there and we're in the DMs talking to ourselves when we should be doing something more productive. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we should be doing something more productive. Warrior Queen, what's happening? We should be doing something more productive. We should be doing something more beneficial. We should be doing something that's going to push us towards purpose. We should be doing something that's going to propel us. We should be doing something to widen the scope of our vision. We should be doing something to enlarge our territory. So when we're sitting home at night wondering how come nobody wants me, when I'm sitting at home and I'm wondering why nobody believes in me, when I'm sitting and I'm wondering why I'm not bearing any fruit, when I'm wondering why the business didn't take off, when I'm wondering how come the podcast didn't take off, when I'm wondering why I'm still battling regret from an abortion that I had from a no good dude. When I'm sitting at home and I'm wondering why my family doesn't believe in me, when I'm sitting wondering how come it's me, I see everybody else around me being productive. I see everybody else around me being fruitful. I see my friends taking off. I see people who are not good people succeeding and thriving in everything. But where are you planting your seeds? Now, the type of seeds that you plant are a direct reflection of your environment. They're a direct reflection of your community. They're a direct reflection of the need. Why? Because all of these things then contribute to purpose. And once K-Lo, what's up, love? Once you determine all of these things, you decide what the world needs, what value you can add to this place. And at this point, you decide what type of seed that you're planting. And then you can answer the question, who that for? I'd like to, hey, can you turn it down, please? I'd like to introduce you to a man. A man was looking for an assistant. And he was a high executive of a Fortune 500 company. He was looking for an assistant, and he had a choice between two people. One had more experience, and the other one had a better personality. That'll preach all by itself, right? Just because you're familiar with something doesn't give you the right to be arrogant about it. Just because you're comfortable doing something doesn't give you the right to hold that over somebody else's head. Just because you've been doing something for a long time doesn't make you an authority figure on that particular subject. And I can't get stuck here, but yeah. Let me move. Okay, so one had more experience and the other had a better personality. They were better with people, right? So he was undecided, and he was headed up to his boss's office. And he still didn't decide. So realizing that he needed help, his boss took a quarter out of his pocket and he flipped it. And he said, okay, heads is going to be the experience and tails is going to be the personality. So he flipped it. And the boss said, quick, decide. He grabs it. And he said, I said tail. The man said tails. And the boss said, okay, now call the personnel department and tell them about the decision that you just made without even looking at the coin. Okay, there's a couple things that I'd like to pull from this story. Point number one is the trust versus experience dynamic. Write this down at a point. Put this in a point. Trust who you are and not what you've been through. Trust who you are and not what you've been through. A lot of us have a problem in today's society in which we make incidents into our identity. We walk around with a sense of shame. We have adopted shame as a personality trait. We have adopted guilt as our friend. We have adopted regret as something that we run to. And as a result of that, these things are starting to become our personality. Notice I didn't say experience and personality. There was experience versus personality, because a lot of us, quite frankly, have been experiencing traumatic situations and painful situations and loneliness and isolation and depression and anxiety for so long that I don't have time to have a good personality. You look at me face to face. Coach, I hear you telling me to view the silver lining. How? You look at me and you tell me, Coach, think positive. How? When the truth of the matter is, this has been crumbling and had a chokehold on my emotions for the last 15 years. When the truth of the matter is, I haven't believed in myself since I was 7 years old because there was nobody pouring anything into me as a child. Truth of the matter is, I don't have the energy to have a decent personality, Coach. I want to hear what you're saying. I want to see the positive. I want to exercise empathy, and I want to exercise grace. But because I've experienced so many things in my life that have gone so wrong as a result of people that I loved and trusted, Coach, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even think that people deserve empathy and grace, because every single person I have come across has hurt me. Every single person I've come across has done something wrong to me. Every single person that I thought that I could love and trust with my heart has betrayed me. Every single woman that I've come across has done some damage. Every single person that I come across has done something wrong. So truth of the matter is, because of my experience, my personality suffers because I don't remember what empathy feels like. I don't remember what grace feels like. I don't remember the last time somebody told me that I don't remember what that feels like. So how is it that you can come on and you can tell me, just suck it up. Look at the positive. I hear you, Coach, but how? Who this is for? This is for you. This is for you. When you plant seeds, in the ground, in order for you to be able to feed the world, in order for you to add value to the world, you must first add value at your own house. And when your personality and your experience don't mix, We have a house divided against itself. When your personality and your experience on two different ends of the spectrum, when your personality is telling you to love and to be gracious and to turn the other cheek, but your experience is telling you to lay them all down. There's a battle. There's a battle that goes on inside of your head every day. There's a battle that's taking place inside of your heart every day. Brad White, what's happening, my boy? You walk around with six-pack abs and a nice leg and a curvy figure, but the truth of the matter is that you run to the gym. So, because you don't want to feel anything anymore. You run to work out in order just to feel something, because I'm so numb inside that I don't remember what grace feels like. I don't remember what empathy feels like. I don't even want to attempt love anymore. You run to coping mechanisms. You run down to the bar and drink yourself numb. You run to the trap house so that you can float away from your problems. You run to the bed. Y'all don't want to talk about this. Lexi, what's happening? Y'all don't want to talk. You run. You run. Y'all don't want to talk about this. Let me just move. Let me find something safe to do today. Okay. Let me find something safe to do. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Greatness, what's happening? So realizing that he needed help. Okay. Realizing that he needed help, he produced, his boss produced a quarter. And he said, heads this experience and tails this personality. And he flipped the coin into the air and asked, quick, what are you thinking? Okay. And he said, tails. I blurted out, I need you to put this at a point. Your desires display themselves under duress. Let's go with the corn. Your desires display themselves under duress. What am I saying here? What I'm saying is that, let me speak to my overthinkers here. Let me speak to the people who can't make a decision out of fear. Let me speak to the people that are afraid to make a move. Let me listen. Y'all want to get hot? Y'all want to get hot? Y'all want to be humble, open, and transparent right now? Let's talk about it. Let's talk to the woman that's still being punched in the eye because she didn't strategically plan her exit, or she doesn't have the resources to plan her exit. Let's talk to the woman that is considering adoption, and she won't do it because, truthfully speaking, she doesn't feel worthy to have a kid because of an abortion she had when she was a teen. Let's talk to the woman who has trust and anger issues because she was sexually assaulted and she had nobody to turn to. She was running around singing escape songs. Who can I run to? There was nobody. The people, and oftentimes these acts are committed by the very same people in charge with protecting me, in charge of pouring into me, in charge of putting and instilling values into me. It's these people. It's these people that have their knives in me the deepest. And truth of the matter is, I want to be free. I want to chase purpose, but my pain is keeping it prisoner. I want to chase vision, but I don't see any value within myself. I'd like to chase peace, but there's punishment going on between my heart and head. I'd like to be what I consider a normal human being, a productive and a valuable member of society. But because I don't recognize that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, because I don't recognize that there's value in me, because I don't recognize that I have everything in me to make the life that I want, because I don't recognize this, because it was robbed from me. It was robbed from me when daddy rather buy me an Xbox instead of show up to the basketball games. I don't need your toy, sir. I need you. It was robbed from me When my parents couldn't regulate their own emotions, so instead of taking the time to communicate with me effectively, they took a shoe, a clothes hanger, a lamp, a light. No, this is about to get real. It was robbed from me when I went over to that cute boy's house, and he said that he just wanted to watch a movie, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and he manipulated me because I like men that are older, and he manipulated me into doing something and devaluing myself. It was robbed from me when I'm left taking care of the child. I'm left with the responsibilities. I'm left making sure that the safety is okay when you're out starting another family and I see it on social media. I'm left. It was robbed. So I would like to be happy. I would like to experience joy. I would. Y'all really want to get deep? Yo, coach, I hear you. You positive and all. I want to believe in this God that you say exists. But how am I supposed to believe in God when I had a stillborn baby? Where was God when my 2-year-old was outside riding their bicycle? When you're put under duress, the true desires of your heart are what come up. Now, in our story, he put him in a stressful situation. It was quick, and the desires were displayed. Here's where, Rana, what's happening? Where am I supposed to find these resources when I can't trust anyone? So now I'm in a place where the desires of my heart can't come to fruition because I truthfully don't know what to pray for right now. If I'm being completely honest, if I'm being honest with you, coach, me and God got a beef. These are conversations that I have on a day-to-day basis. These are conversations of people that are coming here that put their trust into a value system. These are people who trusted in pastors, and they'll pass you the collection plate before they pass you a tissue. These are conversations that I have because when I trusted that one friend to console me when that dude broke my heart, he only wanted my body, and I didn't find that out until I rejected him and told him it wasn't that kind of party, and all of a sudden he ghosted me. These are conversations that I have that I want to believe in some sort of structure. I want to be a part of something bigger than me. Desperately. I want to remember what love felt like. I want to remember a time in my life before I knew about anything toxic. I want to operate from a space of empathy and grace and compassion. But the truth of the matter is I'm bitter. And because I don't know where to start, watch this. Because I don't know where to start, I'm going to take out a coin and let fate decide. Oh, my God. Because I can't anchor myself to something, I'm just going to flip it and let fate decide. But when you get put under duress, this is where you find out exactly who you are. This is why I teach on this platform that it's important to get real familiar with yourself. It's important to get real familiar with and have an intimate and working knowledge of self, because then when you're under duress, the desires of your heart are going to submit to your belief system, and your belief system is going to submit to your morals, and your morals are going to be the version of you. I asked a question this morning in the live. How do you know that you can trust the reflection you see when you look in the mirror? What have you done to ensure that the desires of your heart are for the better and not a trauma response? I don't believe that a man loves me unless he's hitting me. I don't believe that a woman loves me unless she's cussing me out and calling me everything but a child of God. I don't believe that the relationship is real if there's nothing toxic involved. How can I trust the reflection in the mirror? when it's been devalued over the last 3 decades? How can I trust the reflection of the mirror when I look at it and truth of the matter is I don't like it myself? How do I trust the reflection in the mirror when I look at it and all I see is failure? When all I see is disappointment? When all I see is guilt? When all I see is things that I should have been doing? Why have I not? Why have I not taken an inventory of my belief system and my thought processes and the processes in which I operate? Why have I not took the time to do the work? So instead, I take a coin out of my pocket, I flip it, and I let fate decide. I don't really have a moral code, so it's up to you. It's up to you who you're gonna get today. Some days I might wake up righteous, and the other days I might wake up ratchet. There's a constant battle on the inside of my brain because I want to turn the other cheek, but I also want to show them that they don't know who they messing with. There's temptation out here. There is anger out here. There's pain out here. And because I haven't taken this inventory and I'm leaving it to chance, you flip the coin in the air and the universe asks you, who this for? If you don't have a vision, you will perish. If you don't write the vision down and make it plain, if you don't journal, then you cannot align yourself with what it is that your purpose is supposed to be. If you don't write it down and make it plain so that those are running can see it. If we're not doing this for ourselves, then we are doing ourselves a disservice. And watch this. Here's the crazy part out of all of this. When we're not doing the work on ourselves, we're no different than the person that caused the trauma in the first place. Oh my God. Did you hear what I just said? If you become your own biggest op, by doing yourself a disservice, you become the person that is holding you back. And every time that you don't deal with yourself, it's like you're being assaulted all over again. It's like the abortion is happening all over again. It's like you being devalued by your family is happening all over again. It's because I never learned that there was anything in here that was worth fighting. Oh my God. I never learned that there was anything in here worth fighting for. So as a result of me not being able to adequately, because truth of the matter is I'm really a product of a generational curse, because after my dad ghosted my mom, I seen her have 15 boyfriends, so this is acceptable to me. After my mom left my dad, I watched him drink himself into poor health. And every woman he treated with misogyny. He smacked him around a little bit. So now when I get upset, I drink and smack. Truth of the matter is, I'm a generational curse. Truth of the matter is nobody pulled me to the side and told me that life could be better over there. Nobody told me about taking accountability. Nobody told me. And as a result, I don't even recognize that there's something worth fighting for when I look in the mirror. So the true reason that I leave everything up to chance is because my eyes have been swollen shut from crying. My Shiseido has been running. I got stuff all in my eyes. I have splinters in my eyes. I have toxicity in my eyes. And because I don't do the work on myself, people around me have started to back away from me. So now here comes the isolation. Here comes the loneliness. Here comes the people deeming me as toxic. Here comes the rumors. Here comes more backstabbing. And as a result of that, I'm laying in a cold bed at night. As a result of that, I want somebody to hang out with, to be a best friend, to kiss, to hug, to fight about the PlayStation with, to fight about taking out the trash with, but I get rejected. So My boyfriend is now battery operated. My girlfriend takes $5.99 from me and doesn't know that I exist. It costs $65 for this handle. Because I didn't recognize that there was something in here worth fighting for. Let me explain something to you right here, right now. If you don't take anything else from this live, let me explain to you that you are fearfully and wonderfully created in the image of the Creator, even if this is not your book. You were created, and by human right, by human nature, strictly by the fact of you being born, you have the right to pursue happiness. You have the right to keep the pursuit on for the vision. You have a right to chase purpose. You have a right to live the life that you want to live. You have a right. You have a divine God-given right, even if this is not your book. God, karma, and the universe will tell you the same thing, but I cannot be leaving these things to chance. I can't leave these things to chance. I have to look within me. I have to take some introspection. I have to realize that the incidents that happened to me in my past don't have to define my identity. I realize that the chaos doesn't have to become my character. And at some point, I have to stand up and stop leaving things to chance and start taking an active stance in my own. Okay, let me move. Okay. You have to become a participant, not only in you surviving, but in you living. You have to participate, and you have to fight like there's nobody else in the world that's going to fight for you. You have to fight like there's nobody else is going to speak up for you until you can trust other people to do it. You have to bring yourself to a point. You have to bring yourself to a point where you've had enough. How long? How long are we going to endure? How long do I have to hold myself back? How long do I have to live in guilt for the body count that I have? How long do I have to live in guilt with my depression? How long do I have to live with the idea that I'm not good enough? How long do I have to deal with the idea that I'm not smart enough, that I'm not pretty enough, that I'm not qualified enough? How long am I going to tell myself these things before I decide to stand up and fight? Before I decide that enough is enough and I have to tell these things to myself and not trust nobody else to do it? At what point do I tie my own cape on? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me move. Yo, I feel this right here. I'm talking to somebody right now, and let me explain something to you. Who the person that I'm talking to right now, you are loved. You are cared about. You are valued beyond measure. But it doesn't matter with me saying it. It doesn't matter that the people around you are saying it. It's you having to come to a reconciliation with the image that you're looking at every night. The image that that you want to punch in the face. The image that forces you to want to break the mirror. The image that has told you that everybody else is prettier than you. The image that you've submitted to the person that you were cheated on for. The image that you chase on social media because as long as this person, truth of the matter is these things have become idols. Truth of the matter is these things have become sources of worship. Let me prove it. An idol, by definition, is anything that stops you from walking in your purpose. And truth of the matter is that we have shows like American Idol. We think of idols as like these statues or these monuments, but truth of the matter is anything that stops you from walking in purpose. How is it that the type of makeup that girl wears that your man cheated on you with, how does that get more attention than your own? Why is it that it takes me catching my man watching porn for me to join the gym to get a body like that, even though it's surgical? Fellas, why is it that I pay $14.99 a month for somebody that doesn't know that I exist? when there's a loving, caring individual the next room over? Why is it that I'm not satisfied with what I have? Why is it that I have to make these things idols? Why is it that I start to compare myself? The answer is because my parents, my uncles, my cousins, the people that were supposed to love on me and pour into me to ensure that I was a fully confident person, left my future to chance. Okay. The next thing that happened, the man that went into his boss's office wanted it to be tails the entire time. Okay. So the coin landed and they didn't even look at it. And he told him, hey, call down tier and tell them that this is the choice that you have. Okay. Put this in a point. Write this down. And I probably should have given you this point up front, because this is really what I'm talking about. When you don't trust intuition, insecurity becomes your identity. When you don't trust your intuition, insecurity becomes your identity. Here's where hurt lies. Here's where anger lives. Here's where toxic behavior lives. Here's where narcissism lives. Here's where doubt lives. Here is where weak men live. Here is where overly aggressive women live. When you don't trust your intuition, insecurity becomes your identity. Truth of the matter is, anybody paying attention could see that it's a mask. Anybody paying attention could see that it's a hurt response. But if I'm hurt as well, I can't guarantee that I'm going to handle you with the gloves that you need to be carried on. Yo, mommy, thank you for the rose. And here's the source of beef. Here's the source of contention. You wonder where the grace, the empathy, and the compassion is? It's lost in insecurity. You want to know where being the bigger person and turning the other cheek is? It's hidden in insecurity. You want to know where forgiveness is? It's in insecurity. You want to know where all the mature men that are about their father's business are? They're hidden behind insecurity. Oh, y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all are not ready for that. That's a conversation to have right there. Thank you for the fires, Kira. Welcome in. Sorry I didn't greet you earlier. When you don't trust intuition, insecurity becomes your identity. Why? Let me prove it. You knew that you wasn't supposed to be friends with that group of girls for a long time. You knew that this wasn't your crew. I'm stepping on somebody's red bottoms right now. You knew that this wasn't your people. Fellas, you knew that you had no business hanging out with these dudes. You knew. Truth to the matter, you knew it when you met them. Something just didn't click. It just wasn't organic. It just didn't fit the way that it was supposed to. But because I'm insecure and because I'm searching for external validation, and because I need the approval of other people, right? Oh yeah, we in there. Because I need the external validation, and because I need the approval of others, what happens is I try and force something that doesn't fit. When gears are replaced on a machine, the cogs of the wheel turn, right? And they interlock with each other and they keep each other spinning. But when I try and force something that doesn't fit, when my insecurity, here's the pattern. Here's how it actually works. What happens is that I was damaged. Okay. Then I take too much accountability for it, right? I want to do the right thing. So I take too much accountability for it. I want to be the bigger person and I want to exercise empathy. What this looks like is I knew that you treated me like trash, but because everybody else turned their back on you, I'm not going to block you from my phone. So at 2:30, when you text me, I'm going to come right over, and you only want to fill me up and not feel me up. So now I'm crying. What this looks like is, I know that you was for the streets when I met you. I know that I slid into your DMs. I knew that I flew you out one time, and because it feels good to have you in my bed, I'm going to allow you to sleep with 5 or 6 other dudes. What this looks like, is, yes, mom, yes, dad, you can continue to borrow money from the business that you never believed in. Yes, cousin, yes, uncle, you can continue borrowing money from the profits of something that you've never invested in. How is it that you're asking me for money? You discount my dream and you didn't even help me move a crate into them. You ungrateful. See, here's what happens though, right? So now I have a problem. Now I have a problem because I didn't get the reps in setting the boundaries that I should have set. And I don't want to be looked at as a bad person. I don't want to be looked at as a jerk. And I like the fact that these people come around. In fact, it feels good to me to feel wanted for something. It doesn't matter how disrespectful it is. It doesn't matter if it is objectification. It doesn't matter if it is me giving all of my money and now I'm struggling to pay my bills because I knew that you wasn't going to pay me back when I lended you the money. It doesn't matter if I'm the source of talk in the other group chat. You know, the one that you exclude me from, but you put everybody else in so that you can make fun of me and my business. It doesn't matter because I'd rather be accepted. I'd rather be hugged. I'd rather be coddled by you than to actually stand up and set some boundaries. This is all coming from insecurity. I knew I shouldn't have went to that house party that my parents told me not to go to. I knew that there was some dangerous individuals at that house party, and now something happened that wasn't necessarily my fault, but I'm carrying it around just like it was my fault. And as a result, my insecurity and that incident has become my identity. And as a result of that, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. What this looks like is you make a list. You make a list of your dream person, right? You make a dream, you write it down, you make it plain. Those that are running by can see it, right? Okay, she wants that guy. He wants that girl. Okay, go, boom, 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 boom. But because I've allowed insecurity to become my identity and I don't trust my intuition, that person could fall literally right in your lap. But because I'm not in a prepared place, why? Because I didn't plant the proper seeds. And if I did have the proper seeds, I didn't plant them in the proper soil. And if I did plant them in the proper soil with the proper seeds, I was out of season. So I'm still out of position. This thing can fall right in my lap and it's going to blow right by me. It's like it never existed. Y'all want to talk about it? Here's what happens. It's not that people are toxic. They're just toxic for you in that season. What happens is you make this list. Handsome, integrity, okay, I don't really judge him for having kids, but okay, okay, 2, 3, okay, but at least he's a good dad. Okay, we'll give him some brownie points for that. Okay, I need somebody that's compassionate, that wants to spend some time with me. That and the third. Okay, cool. Boom, this dude always has them. And because you trust and you leaned into your insecurity instead of your intuition, now all of a sudden him spending time with his kids is a problem and you're in competition with a 3-year-old. Yo, I didn't even know I was going to be talking like this today, I swear. And now because you weren't ready and you were out of season, he wants to have date night once a week. He wants to be cuddled up to you while he's playing the game, and all of a sudden he's too clingy. He's lame. He's giving you too much attention. Let me move. I've stepped on enough Tims in here today. But so what tends to happen then is that now I'm moving on from regret and guilt. Right? Those of y'all that have been rocking with me for a long time, I told you there's a difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is feeling regret or remorse for something that happened, and shame is a character trait. So when we confuse these two because we hold on to it for too long, we hold on to it because we don't process it properly, because then it goes back to, did I plant the seeds right? Was it in the right season? What kind of soil was it in? Now I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to look in this mirror and I'm going to tell myself that I'm fearfully and wonderfully created, except they didn't value me when I was 11 and my cousin snuck into my room and touched me. The church in itself kicked me out when I was 16 because I made a mistake and had premarital sex, and they don't embrace me or my baby. It happened when that thing happened to you by that one person, and you got bullied at school, and instead of your father teaching you how to fight, he just ignored your voice. So now I have to question, am I fearfully and wonderfully created? Where's my value? Where's my self-esteem? Where's my confidence? Oh, you told me I was cute. You can get it. Oh, she responded to the DM. I'm gonna marry her. Oh, they believed in me and they believed in this business. I don't care that they want the 75 to 25% split, even though I did all of the legwork. Let me form this business relationship because finally somebody wants me. And this is going to feed my insecurity. This is going to put a Band-Aid over my insecurity. When you don't trust your intuition, insecurity becomes your identity. Let me move. Let me move. It's getting a little tight in here. Okay. Put this in a point. Preparation sets your expectation. Preparation sets your expectation. Okay. And here's why this matters. Here's why you can look at yourself and ask, who that for? Here's why. Right? I want you to think. Let's take Christmas time. Okay. Let's take that. It's nice and simple. It seems safe. I don't think that I can turn that into no kind of bar that's gonna take me down there. Christmas is safe. Okay. So what happens is, for Christmas every year, we have a list of people that we're gonna buy stuff for, right? So, and as you're buying gifts, okay, I need to get mama and them something. I need to get grandma and them something. I'm gonna give that cute dude that works in cubicle 4 something. Because I like him, but I don't really want a relationship because I ain't ready for all of that yet. Because truthfully, his cologne triggers me from. Okay. I got to get him something. I gotta get. In other words, every time that you go shopping for Christmas gifts, you're asking yourself, who that for? When you're opening gifts, you look and you read the tag. Who that for? Here's why it matters. The amount of preparation that goes into you shopping for Christmas, the better time that everybody has. I was wrong, Kirby. I can turn this into a bar. Here we go. The more time that I spent knowing, if I started in January putting away 10, 15, 20, if I started in February putting away 50, 100, 200, if I started in March putting away, 300, 500, okay, I'm good. So by the time I get to when they putting the Christmas stuff out, I am already prepared. So not only am I going to reap a reward from this, because my joy is seeing other people get joy, but I have added value to the lives of everybody around me. And it's not because I did anything spectacular. It's just because I was prepared. When we get ready to, I feel this thing. When we get ready to move and make a move, when we start to calculate what our life is getting ready to be, when we get ready to start to calculate what our life is going to be, we have to start asking ourselves, who that for? Hello, pulpit. We have to start calculating who that's for. Because at this point, I'm gonna start regifting. I'm gonna start giving people their stuff back. I'm gonna start taking my power back. I'm gonna start by setting some boundaries. Here, you can have your backhanded compliments back. Here, you can have your gossip back. Here, you can have your backstabbing back. Here, you can have your non-belief back. Here, you can take me calling me at 2:30 in the morning, using me for my body back. You can take me loaning you money back. You can take all of that back. I am going to start regifting, and I'm going to start regifting right here, right now. The boundaries have to stop right now. So when I'm asking you who that for, it's for you, boo. Yeah. It's for you, boo. I'm giving it back because I'm finally taking a stand for self. I'm finally looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I am fearfully and wonderfully created in the image of the Creator. I am more than a conqueror. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am qualified, and I deserve to be here. If it's not for me, it's for my belief system. If it's not for me, it's for God. I owe it to the people that are responsible, that have shielded, that have been there, that have consoled, that have cried with me, the people that picked up the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning, the people that have helped me fix my Shiseido after it ran down my face. I am here for... Ooh, I feel that thing right there. I need somebody to get excited about that right there. Why? Because when you start to ask who that's for, here, check this out. Here's the bar. Here's the bar behind it. I'm going to mark the gift for you, but it really benefits me. And I get it 2 times. Why? Because I'm benefiting you by giving you all of your toxicity back. I don't care how many rumors are about me going on on TikTok. I don't care how many group chats you and your friend have about me. I don't care what you're going to say. I don't care that I'm the black sheep in my community. I don't care that the person sitting behind me in church don't like me. I'm going to become more undignified than this. I don't care that you're trying to only use me for my body. Guess what? You're blocked. I'm taking my Netflix code back, and you ain't getting no more Starbucks. I don't care because my purpose is priceless. My vision tells me that I'm so valuable that I don't have time to get bogged down with any of this nonsense. Who that for is for you, but it's really for me. Come on, somebody. Yeah, I need somebody to get amped about that. I need somebody to get amped by that. So in the music video, right? It was in the music video is because they found a prophylactic, and this is what caused the question in the music video. But now it's time for us to go back and look at the dynamic of our lives. Now it's time for us to evaluate where our boundaries sit. Now it's time for us to evaluate what our motives are. Now it's time for us to evaluate our work ethic. Now it's time for us to recognize exactly. It's time for us to recognize exactly what value that we add to the planet. Now it's important. Now it's important for us to recognize that we are valued. There are traits about me that are more than redeemable. Who that for is for me. I'm gonna give it to you, but it's really for me. There are 5 things that force us to. There's 5 things that forces us to live life unprepared. Number 1 is uncertainty. Right? We talked about it. We talked about, Mickey, what's happening? We talked about your uncertainty, and we talked about where that came from. We talked about some of the things that plague us: past trauma, past pain, failed relationships, unbelief from the parents, nobody pouring into you. Right? That's number 1. So when I'm looking at this reflection in the mirror, when I'm getting ready to go down my shopping list of things, right? I need you to understand that your intuition has never led you wrong. Christians call it the Holy Spirit, right? The spiritualists call it source. I don't know what other religions call it, right? Intuition, karma, whatever. Whatever that voice is in your head, it usually makes the right decision. It usually has the balance between head and heart. It usually tells you the situations that you should avoid. And I'm willing to bet that if you go back and look at some of the situations that you found yourself in that you don't think that you deserve to be in, I'm willing to bet you that that voice told you not to go there in the first place. I'll bet you dollars to donuts. The second thing is money. When it comes to us finding ourselves in situations, when it comes down to us setting ourselves up for success and putting ourselves in position, right? What happens is we look at money, right? And usually what happens is it's drawn or it's tied up somewhere where it needs to be for the household when you thought that things were working. It's usually tied up in somewhere in a business that you thought you had a solid partner. It's being loaned out to those family members who disrespect you on a day-to-day basis. It's being loaned out to friends that you know are never going to pay you back. Right? That's where it is. Number 3, learning how to survive. Learning how to survive. And what learning how to survive looks like is there are certain skills that everybody should know regardless of gender. Cooking, cleaning, laundry. And I would encourage some sort of handy skill, right? And this says that you'll never be out of work. This says that you know how to take care of yourself. You'll never be a product of filth. And what happens when you learn how to survive, we can then take this and use this as something that we can add to our toolbox, right? Something that we accomplished, something that was great. And when we have difficulties finding wins, when we have difficulties, thank you for the roses. When we have difficulties stacking wins, when we have difficulties trying to figure out what it is that we're good at in this life, at least I have this, and this is a good starting point. Okay. The next thing, the 4th thing, know what to do. Know what to do when you encounter a pothole. Know what to do when you encounter a pothole. We have a bad habit of planning under idealistic conditions. We plan as if there's going to be rainbows in the sky at all times. We plan as if it's going to be perfectly paved roads. We plan like we can't run out of gas. Like we can't run out of gas. Like we can't change the oil. Like potholes are going to happen. In fact, we should expect potholes. Let me prove it. When any way that you operate, right, there has to be tests, right? Even the people who don't believe in a higher power, they're tested, right? Their test is them getting out of their own way. Self-mastery, they call it. People that are spiritual, the universe has to put trials there to ensure that they learn the lesson. People who believe in karma, they believe that they still have to pay some penance for something that they've done. And for Christians, it comes at the end of asking God for something. This is how it is. This is a universal principle. So it baffles me how we have all of this information. And at some point, we forget to plan for the potholes. Now, we don't know the form that the potholes are coming. We don't know what form the tests or the trials are going to come. True. But we can plan. Right. And what this does is it leaves room in your timeline to address these issues, because usually what happens is anytime we hit a setback, because we were thinking full steam ahead, because we were thinking that nothing is going to stop me from accomplishing this, because we were thinking that nothing was going to go wrong, or we didn't account for what goes wrong. When we stop to deal with that issue, our timeline takes a hit, and then we feel rushed. So then we do something else in a rush, and that thing's not calculated. And then when they say you about to get this work, the work is for you. But why do I have to wait to feel the consequences to plan as if something were going to happen? Why can't I just, in the words of Scar, be prepared? Okay. And finally, plan, strategy. There's no plan. This is a universal principle. It doesn't matter if you believe in attraction, manifestation, prayer, it doesn't matter. This is a universal principle. You have to plan. You have to write the vision and make it plain so that those are running can see it. And you can see it. And here's how you set the metrics with your plan, with your strategy. You set the metrics, you write down, you start your goal all the way out, and then you work your way backwards. Okay, here's my goal. What is this going to entail? What am I going to need? What skills am I going to need? And how fast can I get it done? And then you take step 1. So we taking advice from Disney villains. Now I take advice from everywhere. everywhere. So that's what happens. And that's how you do it. Questions, comments, or concerns?